Zach, fantastic to see you here in Nuremberg, and congratulations.
Thank you, Nakul.
We're so excited to have the Edge Impulse team and Jan and yourself over. It's just an incredible milestone for the company.
Well, we couldn't be more excited to join the Qualcomm team.
So tell me, when we met for the very first time, when I spoke on the phone in October, what was going through your mind when you thought about Qualcomm as a potential prospect in the future of Edge Impulse?
Yeah, I think Qualcomm's always been an amazing enabler in the whole industry, right? Creating whole industries from scratch. But it's kind of held back from serving the developer, right? High volume, top tier customers, best in the world. And so my first thought was, oh boy, how are we going to go fix the developer experience, right? And then are they serious about developers? So I remember the one thing that you told me when we spoke on the phone that time.
I'm so excited that you guys are on board. What comes to my mind is this is do-it-yourself Edge AI. It's such a complicated space in the sense that people have been doing things in a non-automated fashion, and now the ability for machine learning and Edge AI to just get democratized through the Edge Impulse tools, I think that's just phenomenal. We touch so many different ecosystems. We have so many different end markets that we are a part of. And I feel like we are at a point in time where AI has the ability to get deployed at the edge and automate so much of what has been manual. What are your thoughts on that? You've been at this for so long.
Yeah, I think the reality in IoT is that we have so many different market segments. We have a complicated value chain, right? SOM vendors, ODMs, OEMs, SIs. Everybody has a role to play to get products to market. And the reality is that the data that's interesting to solve the real problems, it's sitting there with the end user. It's not with the SI or the ODM. End users know the problems they want to solve in manufacturing, for example. So Jan and I have always been passionate about democratizing the data that those end users in these industries have access to. How can we use that data to go train very practical machine learning algorithms, solve that problem, and deploy that to their edge hardware? So if you combine all that with the size of the market, you're talking about millions of developers having to hit billions of devices on hundreds of different platforms. It's a huge democratization problem.
When we started to look at industrial IoT in earnest in the last 12 months or so, the realization was that with AI at the edge, pretty much every single industry is going to go through a form of transformation because everything is connected for the most part, different forms of connectivity, but everything is connected. But it's not the same footprint of compute at the edge. And it was pretty clear that yes, you have computer vision, yes, you have Gen AI, but you have so much data at the edge that has to be extracted and converted into something where Gen AI can literally bring it to life, make it human consumable. When I see Jan showing what he's showing in terms of, hey, I'm going to send a simple query through an LLM to understand what the context is, I feel like any problem statement that I look at, it can just be rethought and implemented so quickly. When you started down this journey of building the Edge Impulse studio, did you have that in mind, or is this something that has evolved over time? How did you go about what was the North Star for your vision for the company?
Absolutely evolved, right? You never know where the technology, right, and the developer and customer requirements are going to take you. So the way that I build startups, our philosophy is, what's our North Star, right? And so our North Star has always been, how do we democratize for 1 million developers and enable them to build the machine learning models that they need? So we didn't know exactly, was it going to be sensor fusion, audio, was computer vision going to be the big thing? Would it run on high-end CPUs with acceleration or MCUs? We didn't know. So what we started out doing was say, hey, we'll build a framework and a platform that serves the developer, and we'll be open. Any type of compute size, right? Any type of algorithm class, any size of machine learning or data set. And I think that's the thing that prepared us for where we are now, where computer vision got big, discrete computer vision. We started running on MPUs and CPUs. And now with Gen AI coming in, we have the ability to do very flexible prompt engineering to solve problems. So that was the cascading architecture that you just mentioned.
The IQ9, yeah.
This is so powerful. And so now we can extend the platform to do prompts, fine tune, deploy down to device, and very quickly solve a problem. And so no, we didn't think about Gen AI at all. In fact, just like Jan said, 2 years ago, we never would have believed that you could use Gen AI for what we're doing today. Synthetic data generation, AI labeling, VLMs on the edge. No way. It's unthinkable.
You've had access to and exposure to so many companies in the Valley, globally. You partner with pretty much every single semiconductor vendor. Tell me, what was your experience with the RB3 Gen 2 and with IQ9, right? I mean, we've only known each other for 4 or 5 months. And I feel like we are now at a point where I can literally say we have a do-it-yourself edge AI toolkit between the companies coming together. What's your experience been, and how much of it is just because of how AI has advanced? How much of it is your tools? How much of it is our readiness?
I think in 2 months alone, we've seen a huge improvement, right? I mean, RB3 and this type of specialized developer platforms, they typically take weeks, if not a month, to get up, update Yocto, install all the tools that you need, right? Get up your own developer environment. So the experience to get started with was slow, but what we saw was the Qualcomm teams taking a developer-first attitude where, no, we're going to simplify the experience, right? We're going to put more advanced, ready-to-go Linux distros on the device. We're going to put IDE tools in place. And so just in a matter of months, that process has gone from weeks to a matter of minutes. And so now we can take an RB3, we can directly deploy from Edge Impulse the entire package end-to-end to run an entire AI workload and live stream from the device to the cloud. That's so very cool, right?
That is incredible.
So we've gone from weeks to minutes in just a couple months. I'm sure we'll be able to make the experience even better.
Yeah, I mean, we close the deal in a few weeks from now, but the fact that the teams have been able to work so well together, I kind of feel like we've been building the infrastructure for what we have to do to truly democratize edge AI, and then bringing on the Impulse Studio to sit right on top of the infrastructure we've been building between Yocto Linux, between the QM SDK, the IDE that we've just announced, the tool chains, the developer kits. We are super excited to take this journey forward. Tell me, what is the one use case that you feel is really a game changer?
Keeping it simple, right? I think when you go out in the field and talk to customers across all industries, the problem they have, what's keeping them back from deploying AI, is a lack of data. Talk to a German manufacturer, now we're in Nuremberg, and they'll tell you that, well, our machines never break. Every data is good data, right? And so you run into this problem where they have samples of good things. What's normal, right? What's a perfect product? What's a functioning gas pipeline? Every industry will have this. Nobody will have what was the anomaly, right? When did it break? What happened then? And so that holds back the AI industry more than anything else. And so we've been developing technologies for advanced anomaly detection, not just with sensor fusion, but now with computer vision. That's a game changer. So now we can bring in hundreds, thousands of images of normal things, very easy for any industrial user to collect, hit train, and then we can automatically detect the anomalies that are interesting, that have never happened before. And then we can start getting into cascading, right? Instead of having to send all of those to humans, we can cascade those to a VLM, get an analysis, categorize the problem, and solve this. And we had this, for example, with North American railway companies having problems with wheels. So we've actually used this technique to detect cracks and problems in wheels, automatically classify them, and get them to the service center, right, with some pre-knowledge of what's going on, right? It's not just that something's broken, it's that, oh, we have this kind of wheel problem, let's send the right kind of engineer.
Look, for us, we are a company that is formed in, we have founded, CDMA, solve a very complicated communications problem. We went into mobile, smartphones, automotive. For me, what is very exhilarating about this new journey that we're going to be on is we can have a conversation with industries, with specialists about use cases, about problems that they see in the real world, and how do you have applied AI solve it. So we are thrilled to have Jan and yourself and Edge Impulse at Qualcomm. Thank you very much for a fantastic journey so far, and lots ahead to do.
Thank you, Nakul.